it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today in these strange times that we are currently living in. I'm going to try and do really upbeat projects over the coming weeks to try and inspire people to keep positive. So hopefully you will be able to join me for as many of those as you possibly can. So this is the project I've got for you today. I am using a combination of the pattern paper from the Best Dressed Designer Series paper stack, which is the Dress to Impress suite from the Spring Summer catalogue. It is a suite that I have not used enough, but it is gorgeous. Oh, and I've just realised I've got this that I've hardly touched, and this that I've hardly touched. Excellent. Right, so this is the the Best Dressed suite, which has the Dress to Impress bundle. I'm not using much from the rest of the suite. I'm actually being a bit naughty. I'm not, but I'm using the Ornate Thanks stamp set from the Ornate Garden suite that is going to be available for customers come the 1st of April. It is available now for demonstrators or for people who wish to join up. There's information on that on my website. I did a whole blog post about how you can get all of this in your starter kit. Not going to repeat that now, it's not an appropriate moment. But I do love it. It's got some amazing sentiments, 19 of them to be precise. I will accept that one of those is I'm, but yes. So I've got So Grateful, and then on the inside, so here's a card. I'm going to be trying to send out more cards than I normally do. I'm appalling at sending cards out. I make them. I've got stacks that need to go out. So I will be doing a few random acts of kindness over the coming weeks and hopefully not months, but months. Anyway, let me get started. I thought this was a really nice, fun, bright set of papers. The other side are the fashion icons. To be honest, not really my thing, but I love that we've got florals on the other side. So, mini trimmer. The first cut that I'm going to do is at 3 3/4, which is there. And then this one, I've got to get rid of 1/2 inch, which is going to be slightly more interesting. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab something that I know is the right length and just trim off 1/2 inch. I could use my big trimmer, but I like my mini trimmer, so I'm going to use my mini trimmer. There we go. So that's the Designer Series paper layer. While I am at it, I'm going to cut a piece to, so that's about 1/2 inch, to put on the inside. I don't often put paper on the inside of my card, but I thought I would, because I wanted something other than just the small sentiment, so that's what I've used. Right, okay, so I've got a piece of Whisper White. This is technically a scrap. It's actually a set size, but it's a scrap, just because I need to stamp and die cut my main sentiment. And I'm going for Lovely Lipstick again, which is one of the colours in the Designer Series paper. And now I have been posting over on my Facebook groups to say that I'm going to try and do more lives while this is going on. My plan had been to do more lives anyway, so on the basis that whilst we've got extra time on our hands, whilst we're self-isolating or everyone around us is self-isolating, I would try and get some of those things done that I've been planning forever and a day. So that's what I am doing today. I'm not. What am I talking about? Sorry, my brain has gone somewhere else. It's gone off with the fairies. Not new. That's just how things go in my life. I wanted another piece of not scrap paper, another piece of card for the inside whilst I've got my ink out. So this is the So Here's a Card. So yes, I'm going to try and sort out the technology for more lives. My problem is that where I record is right at the very end of the Wi-Fi, so it doesn't get a super signal. I'm going to see if I can do something about that. I've even got a booster in here. What I may need to do is move the booster. The only problem with that is the booster is quite difficult to get at, but it may make a difference, so I'm going to try that. Right, so I've got my paper there, and somewhere, oh, there it is. I can't see it for looking because it's the wrong side. I've got my piece of patterned paper. So this is 6 inches long. This is 5 5/8. So long as I put adhesive across most of this piece of card, it will be long enough to stick. So I'm just going to pop that at the bottom of my liner. These are my sticky scissors. So I'm just going to trim that off. Now I'm going to do a slight change to this card. The original has got Blackberry Bliss as its card base. I'm going to use Mint Macaron. Blackberry Bliss and Mint Macaron are two of the colours that are in the suite, so in the paper, so that's why I've chosen that. I've got one of the dies from the new Ornate garden. It's this one here. These are all the dies in one of the die sets. Well, there are two sets of dies. There's a set of border dies, and there's a set of label dies, effectively. And it's this one that I'm using, and I'm using this die. So I am just going to go off and do that while I try and project my voice back across the room so that you can still hear me. Now, as ever, I am going to put this through at an angle. It is much, much easier to die cut with a rectangle when it's at an angle. If you're just going straight onto a flat edge, it can be a bit tougher to get it through your die cutting machine. So there we go. There's my scrap piece. So all we've got to do is pop our card together. So I've got my Mint Macaron base. I'm going for a tent fold. I generally do, from a photographic point of view, it's much easier for me. But if you want to do it as a side fold, it's the same size. So it's just half a sheet. I always put the measurements over on my website, and they're always both for international A4 in both imperial and metric. I was brought up as an imperial measurement person, so I'm more comfortable with that. But there's also imperial measurements for North American letter size. So as I say, those are on my website, and that's linked below. Do remember that you can subscribe to my channel, and if you also click the alert bell, you'll know when I'm on, and particularly when I'm going live, that may be useful for you. So this is Lovely Lipstick, which, as I say, is one of the colours in the designer series paper, and it's going to go. We are at that point of time where our ink colours are going to disappear. Just saying. So the ones that will be going are the 2018-2020 colours. So that's Blueberry Bushel, Grapefruit Grove, Call Me Clover, Pineapple Punch, which I love, and Lovely Lipstick. So yes, if you want those, get them now. As of this moment, and I can't promise for tomorrow or the day after that, but as of this moment, the warehouse in Germany is operating as normal. I'm just going to go and get some ribbon. The German borders are closed for just ordinary people, but they are open for commercial vehicles. So there's no problem with getting stuff out, and UPS are operating as normal. So as things stand at the moment, it's all good to go. So yeah, if you want to stock up so that you've got stuff to play with whilst we are locked away, don't worry, things will come through. So this is the Petal pink ribbon from the Parisian suite in the mini catalogue. Petal pink's one of these colours, so hence I am using it. So yes, so I am going to try and do some more lives on YouTube. I will be doing some more lives on Facebook. I want to do YouTube as well, because I know that some of you don't do Facebook. And obviously I want to try and keep everyone as positive as possible. So I will be doing both. But there will be some stuff that won't be on Facebook that will be on YouTube. I will try and get my Facebook lives over to YouTube once I can work out how to do it properly. Right, so that's that done. So I can now adhere this to this. And again, I'm going to grab my ink. Good grief! It's a worry, really, isn't it? If I was mad before, I'm absolutely mad now. The words running around like a headless chicken seem appropriate. I'm trying to keep as sane as possible, but when you start life not being particularly sane, it's not very easy to then be sane. I'm just a bit nutty. Anyway, so I've just got this little piece of petal pink, and so that I can have a knot just at the edge here. This is much easier than trying to tie two loose ends together. So you just tie a piece of ribbon round your long piece, and it looks as if you've tied a knot. It's the cheats version. No, it's not. It's the sensible thing to do. Then just trim your ends. Like that. Okay, so dimensionals. The thing to bear in mind with the dimensionals is if you're putting your sentiment down the middle of your ribbon, you kind of want your dimensionals to be offset from the centre. Otherwise it will mean that your sentiment could be flapping around in the breeze. So I'm just using 3, but I am offsetting them. And then all I need to do is put some enamel dots on, and we're good to go. I have started a thread over on my Facebook community, which is linked below, for if there's anything you want me to do while we're in this state, just let me know. I've already got a few suggestions that have been submitted, so I will be making a list and then doing what I can to address those. These are the Happiness Blooms enamel dots. They are, if memory serves, Pineapple Punch, Night of Navy, Lovely Lipstick, Calypso Coral, and Call Me Clover. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I think they are. So I'm just going to use 3. I want one, preferably without the bit of fluff. I can see, but you may not be able to. And now, of course, I've got the piece of fluff. I can't get the dot. Okay, so I'm going to put one off-centre just there. Then one, come along, just down there. And then one up in the top right-hand corner. And it's just so there's a bit of a triangle. I like my odd numbers because the brain knows what to do with odd numbers. So yes, so if there's anything you want me to cover, any stamp sets you want me to use, I don't have everything, but if there's any stamp sets you want me to use, and I've got them, I will happily do them. I've got pretty much all of the designer series papers, etc, etc. I think I've got all of the ribbons at the moment. So anything you would like me to do a video on, I will be very happy to add that to my list and see what we can come up with. And as I say, I will be looking at sorting out some Facebook Lives. I'll try and do my newsletter more regularly so that I can let you know what I've got planned for the week. At the moment, I am doing a bit of catch-up because I've had lots of local stuff to deal with, family stuff to deal with in preparation for whatever it is that's coming. So I'm a little behind. And this is on top of, I had, as most of you will know, a chest infection a few weeks back. Not coronavirus. And that put me back. So anyway, here are the cards. They will be going to someone. I don't know who yet, but they will be going to someone. And yeah, I'm actually going to send out cards, but how cute are they? Really bright, fun, summery, positive. So thank you very much indeed for joining me again today. If you've got any questions or comments, please, as ever, leave those below. I am very behind in catching up with answering those. I will try and find some time in the next couple of days to go do a blitz answer, and then I'll try and get on top of them again properly. So do bear with me. If you've got any specific questions, I am prioritising specific questions, and then I'll go back and thank people for kind comments. Thank you very much indeed, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.